Hey YouTube, it's Josh, and I'm back to carry on with the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the fourth installment in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, The Dream Master. How's this for a wet dream? Okay, so just as a heads up, there are no spoilers in this review until the end, and I'll warn you before they are coming, so right now you don't need to worry about spoilers. Okay, so what do I think of the Dream Master? To be honest, guys, for me this part 4 was a bit of a disappointment. With that being said, I'm not saying it sucks or anything like that. It's still a good movie. It's just part 3 compared to part 4. Well, part 4 is nothing in comparison to The Dream Warriors, but I still do like it. And before I go into why I found it a little bit disappointing, I'll tell you some stuff that I did like about it. Okay, great death scenes in this movie. Very creative. To be specific, you've got that awesome scene where Freddy sucks all the air out of that girl with asthma. You've got the scene on the beach. I'm not going to say any more than that, but that scene's cool. And my absolute favourite killing scene in the whole movie is the wet dream. I'm not going to say any more than that, but it's so creative, that scene. And it also has an interesting opening sequence. I won't go into too much detail yet, but the opening scene in this I thought was really good. The acting's great, as per usual. You've got Robert Englund back as Freddy Krueger, and the 3 survivors from the 3rd movie is in this. Christian, Joey and Kincaid all come back, which was great. And the music was also good too. Okay, so I've said some stuff that I did like about it. Now I'm going to go into stuff that I wasn't such a big fan of with this part 4. Okay, well, I just want to point out that my biggest problem with the Dream Master, I'm not gonna say until the spoiler section, because it's pretty hard to say without spoiling it. But I just wanna let you guys know that my biggest problem is not mentioned yet. But anyway, I did not like the plot in this movie very much, to be honest. Well, it's not that I didn't like the plot, it's just there wasn't enough of it. Like, The Dream Warriors was a very complicated and interesting film. It wasn't purely and simply about one thing. But The Dream Master, it has a plot so straightforward that a 9-year-old could have come up with it. It's about a group of high school students who are having dreams about Freddy Krueger. They're getting killed off, and some are trying to stop them, and that's about it. Yes, there's a few minor subplots along the way that don't really matter, but really that's the main plot. So the plot was very simple for a Nightmare on Elm Street film. And you know how each Nightmare on Elm Street film has brought something new to the franchise, like, well, the first one brought the whole thing new, but the second one brought the thing with Freddy's possession over over Jesse's body. The third one was very unique, how it was set in kind of like a mental institute for kids. And the fourth one doesn't really have any plot line like that. So that was a bit disappointing. Also, it ignores some questions that were raised in the third movie that I was looking forward to being answered, like Amanda Kruger. I was very looking forward to watching this and finding out some more stuff about her, but she does not make an appearance in this movie, and her name is never mentioned. Oh, and I forgot his name, but the guy at the end of the movie, who sees Amanda Kruger's gravestone, and at the end, he was in Christian's house, and that light came on. He's not in this at all. So I do not know what happened to those two. So it kind of did ignore some stuff from the third movie, which was disappointing. So now I'm going to talk about some spoilers. So if you have not seen A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, The Dream Master, please get the fuck out. Okay, so right now I'm hoping anyone who hasn't seen the movie is no longer watching. Okay, so my biggest problem with this movie is the fact that Christian, Joey and Kincaid get killed off way too early in this movie. And that's another point, being that it basically ignores the third one. Well, not really ignore, but it basically tries to get the third line story out of it eventually and start off this new story. I mean, I was fine with, in fact, I was more than fine. I was happy with the story of the third one. They should have just continued on straight from that. But yet, they killed off, Kincaid was dead in about the first 10 minutes, and Joey was dead straight after his dead, literally the next scene. Whilst they both had interesting killings, they did not need to be killed off that early on. There was a little bit of a gap between Joey's death and Christian's death, but nowhere near enough. I think if they were going to kill off a character like Christian, they should have done it at the end of the movie, in the cathedral, but not about half an hour or more like 25 minutes into the movie she was dead. So I didn't really like that. And let's talk about the ending for a bit. Okay, now I thought that the fight between Alice and Freddy in the cathedral was cool. I enjoyed it. So generally I was happy with the ending. I liked the way she got all those people inside Freddy's stomach to burst out, and she's like, "Let them go!" I thought that was groovy. And I also liked the Make-A-Wish thing. How Daniel flips the coin and says, "Make a wish," that lands in the fountain and Freddy's reflection appears. I think out of all 6 Nightmares on Elm Street, that is my favourite little indication showing that that Freddy is still alive. Okay, so that wraps up my review of The Dream Master. I will be reviewing The Dream Child next. Can't really see, but I'll be reviewing The Dream Child next week, on Tuesday, so definitely look out for that. And if you would like to request a review, either message me or email me. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. You shouldn't have buried me. I'm not dead.